Greetings. I am back just for a very short video that has hit my heart to go ahead and share because this is something that I wish that someone would have shared with me, or I just would have subconsciously knew what this part of living abroad was going to be like as an African American woman living in another culture. As if you guys didn't see my first video, I am currently living in Santo Domingo, Dominican República, con familia, mi esposo y los niños, my husband and my children. I've been here for about 6 months, going on 7 on January 9th, and it has been an amazing family adventure, but yet a roller coaster ride that will make your hair go like that. So the reason why I'm making these videos is because this is for whoever is out there that really truly need this form of guidance and preparation for them to move into a culture that is not of their own. So I've got to make this video about independence. And I'm going to start out with this amazing quote by Jane Eyre. I care for myself. The more solitary, the more friendless, the more unsustained I am, the more I will respect myself. I care for myself. The more solitary, the more friendless, the more unsustained I am, the more I will respect myself. And the reason why I wanted to open up with that is because that is what I'm going through now. I am now at the statement in this quote, the more friendless I am. You know, before moving here, I was a very independent woman. You know, I took care of a lot of things when we lived in the United States. Simply because I knew the language, I was from there, so it wasn't a big deal. I had friends. I would go out with my friends. I would choose to see my friends whenever I wanted to. I would take my kids to all these different places. I would just immerse myself in my culture as much as I did, and I'm glad that I did because that's not the case now living in another culture where I speak the limited Spanish. So since being here, I have to have someone go with me absolutely everywhere. Because what happens with Dominicans is that once they know that you are American, and nothing negative against them, you know, this is how the system works here, money talks. They tend to jack up the price on something that may have been 10 pesos, but because they know you're American and they think that we have all this money, they will hack it up to maybe 100 pesos. So in order for me not to get fooled, I have to take someone with me. Friends. I don't have many friends here. I really don't have one. Honestly, I have amazing coworkers, but I don't have friends that I had in the United States. And it's sad. It gets very lonely at times, especially when you are used to being surrounded by your friends that become or became your family. And so now living here, I don't have the luxury of calling my friends or being invited anywhere because I don't have the friends. You know, I've only been here 6 months, so, you know, I'll give it a little bit of time. And hopefully through time, I will be blessed with those amazing friends I had in Chicago and Nashville. But this is something that you need to think about when you're wanting to move abroad. The life that you had, you know, coming from where you left is simply not going to be the life that you have going to the new country, the new place right away. Things are going to take time. Things are going to take patience. More solidarity will be in place, and more friendless situations will take place. The question is, mosquitoes, how are you going to mentally deal with that? Can you leave what you know and embrace a total new challenge in your life? New environment, new language, new food, new music, new people of how they work and how they talk, new everything. How is that? How are you going to depend on yourself to get through that within still having your independence? Now, one thing that I have started doing is I have started to go out on my own and take small walks. Like, we live very close to Mega Centro, so I've been there a couple of times alone, and I will go to familiar stores that I know that whatever the price tag say is what I'm going to be able to pay for. And it feels good when I do that, because I can't just keep myself hoarded in my casa in order to feel bad about the lack of my independence. You know? So it's really important that when you move to your new endeavor, in the country or out of the country, you will lose an essence of what you had in that previous environment. But it's up to you on how you're going to incorporate this newness into the new you. So here's my 3 tips. 1, be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. The mind will play tricks on you. I'm speaking from experience. The mind will keep you attached to your past environment, which is going to really take away your new opening, effect, and acceptance of your new environment. So be gentle, especially with your thoughts and your mind. 2, take small steps. Go out on your own and just stay gone an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours. But do something by yourself that is going to fulfill that independent need that you are trying to feel. Go to the nearest restaurant, order your favorite coffee, and sit and people watch. You know, I go to Mega Centro and I'll get a shirt from Forever 21, this is the one I bought on my independent need to fulfill. And I ordered a Presidente, and I sat there and I just drank my Presidente, had my nice new $2 shirt, and enjoyed my 2 hours of my independence. And 3, make the time a priority to get your independence in, because we always wallow in the sorrow. Oh man, I miss my friends. Oh, I miss my life before I got here. What was I thinking? This is lonely. What am I doing? I can't believe I took myself out of something that was so amazing and so thriving for me and put myself in this new experience. Those doubts and fears will penetrate in your entire being, and it will rip your new experience into shreds. So it's extremely important that you make it a priority, that when you do move into this newness, because that's a blessing, then you actually know that, okay, I'm letting go of that old me and I'm embracing a new endeavor. So let me make it a priority to put my independence at the forefront, especially if that's something that you really absolutely miss and get to have. Like me, I have to have it. I thrive on socialization and friends and dancing and music and being out. You know, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, but I'm a woman, and I have my own needs. So I wanted to bring you this video because I want you to know that when you do move away, again, in the country or abroad like me, you will lose that, especially if you don't speak the language, you don't know the culture. This video is not to put fear in you. This video is for you to use as an educational force of knowing that when you get there, like me, when I got here, I didn't know I was going to lose my independence. Should have been something that I fully understood, but I just didn't know. But I know now, and I know the importance of having it. So make sure you take the time to create it. I've spoken in my last video, connect to people before you get here so those people can be a really great space. Even if you don't know them, the Dominican people here don't care if you don't know them. They'll meet up, hey, let's go have a presidente or mojito or sangria is really big here. And let's just talk and we can get through the language barrier the best way we can. They're very social and nice people. But in your case, it may be different. You may be going to the UK, or you may be going to Africa, or you may be going to South America, or you may be going to Italy. I don't know. That's part of the UK. But you just may be changing your environment in the country that you currently live in. I just want you to be very conscious and aware that there will be a shift in your independence, but that does not mean break yourself. That just means now it's time to write a new book in these new chapters. So when I get to sit as an old woman, I got some good stories to tell. That's all that means. Love to all, light to all, peace to all, and be present within yourself. Again, Jane Eyre says, I care for myself. The more solitary, the more friendless, the more unsustained I am, the more I will respect myself. Sad now, guys. Peace.